Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are talking DV 2020 and DV 2021. Normally when the fiscal year ends, the DV program for that fiscal year also comes to an end. But DV 2020 and DV 2021 are exceptions. And so in this video, we will be seeing why we are still talking about DV 2020 and DV 2021 at a time when we are about to enter fiscal year 2023. And this will also be the opportunity for me to respond to a number of questions that I have been receiving from DV 2020 and DV 2021 applicants. So let's go into that. Welcome back to this discussion. On Friday was held the appeal hearing for DV 2020 and DV 2021 lawsuits. Now, most of you recent diversity visa applicants are not used to hearing about lawsuits when it comes to the diversity visa program. But applicants of the DV 2020 and DV 2021 programs are aware of ongoing lawsuits for the past couple of years. We have mentioned that COVID-19 had several adverse effects on the diversity visa program. It began with the DV 2020 program, continued with DV 2021, and so far we can consider DV 2022 program as the final program that has suffered from the effects of COVID-19. A major effect that COVID-19 had on the DV 2020 and DV 2021 programs was that fewer interviews were conducted, and that resulted in very low numbers of visas being issued out during both of those programs. In the case of DV 2020, it was a little over 20,000 visas that were issued during that program, and for DV 2021, it was close to 18,000. And so applicants who did not have the chance of being interviewed during those programs actually resulted to lawsuits. They took the State Department to court to ensure that they be granted the opportunity to be interviewed. They believed that they were prevented from immigrating to the United States because their interviews did not take place. And so sometime last year, their case was heard by a U.S. district judge who ruled in their favor and ordered the State Department to reserve a certain number of visas for such applicants whose cases were affected by COVID-19. But remember that the diversity visa program is governed by U.S. immigration law, and it is administered in accordance with the U.S. fiscal year. When a fiscal year comes to an end, the diversity visa program for that fiscal year also comes to an end. And so the State Department appealed that ruling by the judge, and it was the appeal hearing that was held on last Friday. That was the occasion for the appeal judges to hear the arguments of both sides in the lawsuit. They are now going to study the case and come up with their own ruling. Their ruling is expected early next year. So this is what the issue of lawsuits concerning DV 2020 and DV 2021 has been about. Now, let me address some of the questions that I have been receiving from applicants. The first question concerns DV 2022 applicants. They have been asking whether there is a lawsuit or there will be a lawsuit concerning the DV 2022 program. Now, there has been a lawsuit concerning the DV 2022 program, but what has been observed is that most, if not all, of those who joined that lawsuit have already been issued visas. And in addition to that, onboarding for that lawsuit has since come to an end. Now, the B to that question, will there be further lawsuits in the case of DV 2022? And the answer is no. There wouldn't be further lawsuits for the DV 2022 program because the program has issued a high number of visas as compared to programs like DV 2020 and DV 2021. And so for that reason, there will be no need for further lawsuits when it comes to the DV 2022 program. Our second question concerns DV 2023 applicants. Some have been asking whether there will be lawsuits for DV 2023 cases. Now, the DV 2023 program has not yet even started. So why be concerned about joining lawsuits when you still have the possibility of being interviewed during the DV 2023 program? Remember, I said that we expect DV 2023 to be a more successful program than other programs in recent years. So with that, we cannot expect lawsuits in the case of DV 2023 unless the unexpected happens. To question number 3, and it concerns DV 2020 applicants. Some have been asking who's going to benefit in case the visas are made available. Now, it is true that the lawsuits concern both plaintiffs and non-plaintiffs, but the number of visas that will be made available, which is a total of 9,095 visas, is quite a small number as compared to the number of applicants that were affected in the DV 2020 program by the coronavirus pandemic. And so, only a fraction of those who were affected will actually receive one of the 9,095 visas. Now, when it comes to how issuance of those visas will be carried out, we cannot say at the moment. Question number 4 is the same as question number 3, but in the case of DV 2021, that is, who are going to benefit in case the visas are made available. Both cases are quite similar. When the visas are made available, they are going to be just a small number of visas as compared to those who were affected by the coronavirus pandemic in the DV 2021 program. And as such, only a small number of those who were affected will actually receive one of the visas that will be made available. But in the case of DV 2021, 2 groups of applicants will be prioritized. The first group of applicants are those who joined one of the lawsuits for DV 2021 cases. And the second group of applicants are those applicants who were affected by the regional travel ban. And so if you are not a plaintiff on one of the DV 2021 cases and you were not affected by the regional travel ban, then sorry to say that it is over for you. You will not benefit from one of the visas in case the visas are made available. And now our final question, question number 5, and it concerns those who are interested in the court case. Their concern is, when can we expect a final outcome in this matter? Now, at this point, we cannot say when. But remember, I said that we expect the ruling from Friday's appeal hearing early next year. Now, at that point, if there is no further appeal, then that will mark the end of the matter. But another appeal at the U.S. Supreme Court by the losing side from Friday's appeal hearing is very likely. And so in that instance, the matter is going to drag on in 2023. So the final outcome may be next year or sometime in 2024. These are the answers to questions that some of you have been asking concerning DV 2020 and DV 2021 lawsuits in favor of those who were affected by the coronavirus pandemic. This is the latest update concerning the issue, which brings us to the end of today's discussion. Thanks for watching this video. As usual, leave your comments and questions in the comment area below, and I will see you, God willing, in the next video. Goodbye.